this just a little bit more tart. Okay? So now we have the sugar, we have the butter and the water, and then we're getting ready to add the strawberries. Turn them out a little bit because I want these to really start to cook, and I really want the flavor from the brown sugar and the strawberries to marry and come together. So I'm going to add right around 2 pounds of strawberries. And again, at the Strawberry Festival, you can buy the strawberries by the flat. They're very inexpensive. So what we do is we bring them home, we wash them, we clean them, and then we freeze them. So these are the frozen strawberries that we got at the Strawberry Festival. As you can see, they're bright red, they're plump, they're juicy, and they're going to make their own juice from or with this butter and sugar mixture. So, alright, we're going to let this cook, and then we turn our oven on about 400. And then what we're going to do, the process that we're going to do, we're going to let these strawberries cook for a little bit and kind of break down. And then we're going to take and we're going to layer the strawberries with the pie crust. The pie crust is just a regular Pillsbury, or you can even do an off-label pie crust. And then, you know, you get the 2 in a package, 2 nice round ones. And then what I do is I cut them into strips. And then what I do is I do a little lattice basket weave work on top and pop it in the oven, and I let each layer get nice and golden brown, and then I put more strawberries on top of that, and then I go through the process of doing another lattice work layer and browning that off to a nice golden brown, and your cobbler is pretty much done. And you just let everything sit and kind of marry, and then it just makes its own cobbler, really, once you get the crust and the strawberries together. So we're going to take a break, and we're going to let this cook a little bit, and then we're going to come back with this more cooked down, and then we're going to start the layering process. See you in a minute. We're going to add now some nutmeg, about 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then some cinnamon, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm just going to shake it because I kind of know what I'm looking for. We're going to stir this up. And then I'm going to take about a teaspoon, no, about 1/2 of a teaspoon of cornstarch. I'll start with 1/2 a teaspoon. And I'm just going to shake that in there. And this should actually be a thickening agent for the mixture. So as I'm cooking it, it should start to thicken up a little bit and come together and make more of like a sauce than just, you know, juice. Give it just a little bit more substance, and then when you go through the process of layering it, then you have more of a thicker kind of a sauce instead of just the juice. So we're going to let this continue to cook for a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, the strawberries have been cooked, and so now we're going to start the layering process, okay? I want to show you what the strawberries look like. You know, you just have like a strawberry soup, so to speak. I don't know how else to describe it. But you have the strawberries, and the sauce is a little thicker. You don't want it real thick because, again, it's a cobbler. So you want it to really be nice and juicy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put a layer of strawberries down on the bottom of my Pyrex dish. And I like a Pyrex dish in order to make a cobbler because you just see all the layers, everything, and the glass is just a really good medium for doing the cooking process of your cobblers. So I'm going to layer this, put the strawberries in. I'm going to do like almost half of the mixture, and then a lot of the sauce, once your cobbler gets done and gets nice and brown, I go over and I just kind of pour sauce over the brown crust, and that just really makes your cobbler come together. It's kind of like a pie, but not like a pie. And then as the day goes on or the night goes on, once it starts to settle, it all comes together, gets nice and thick, and you get that nice cobbler kind of a feel. You know what I'm talking about. Peach cobbler. Everybody loves a good peach cobbler. And I have a great peach cobbler recipe, and that's going to come up in one of our next videos. But right now, I'm just taking and I'm just doing the lattice work. And the lattice work with this does not have to be, I'll move this out of the way so you can see everything. The lattice work don't have to be perfect. It just has to be crisscross. So you just run your strips across the pan.
Due to the
strips. So as you can see, I'm just doing a nice little layering process, going back and forth with it. Take it, break it, make the strips long enough. Again, there's no rhyme or reason as to how you do this. Just want to get that crust on there so that it can get nice and golden brown. And I take one whole crust for each layer. And again, I'm just going back and forth, across and across. Filling in the gaps, because you want the crust to be nice and hearty, because that's going to help your cobbler be a cobbler. And I'm just going to go to the sides a little bit. I'm going to come this way a little bit. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to pop this in the oven and get this nice and golden brown. We're going to take a little break while this browns. This is the first layer, and you can see how it's cooked down and it's condensed. The cornstarch really helped with that process a lot. And so now we're getting ready to put the next layer on top, and we're going to really do pretty much exactly the same as what we did last time. The crust is nice and golden brown, and then it's going to absorb the juices from the strawberry mixture that we're putting on top here. So we're just going to start this layering process, okay? I'm going to spoon the strawberries on top. And as you can see, it's really juicy. But that's okay, because that's going to cause the golden crust to be nice and saturated with strawberry juices. And it's going to make this cobbler really, really nice. It's going to have a great texture. There's going to be a nice, not quite like a pie, but you know what a cobbler is like, though. You know, it's just going to be nice. There's going to be some juice, but usually when I cook mine, I try to cook mine to the point where it is very much like a pie, but just a lot juicier, Because that crust is going to get nice and golden brown, and then after I put on the second layer of crust, then I'm going to go over that brown crust with some of the sauce that's left at the bottom of this pot. I'm trying to get all the strawberries that I can grab. I guess I could have used a slotted spoon. But nonetheless, we're going to get all of them. And then this remaining sauce, we're going to just pour over this next layer of crust once it gets nice and golden brown. And again, we're just going to do our lattice work, just back and forth. Oh, I broke on it. It's okay, there's no rhyme or reason, you know, as far as trying to get this done. Just go through the motions. Make this happen. And so again, like I said, I just cut it and tear it. Get the pieces to fit where I need them to fit, wherever I need them to fit. And now I'm going to go on the opposite direction. Dang, my pieces are breaking. It's okay. No rhyme or reason as to why everything's got to be done. Putting it together, I like to try to keep my pieces as moist as I can because they'll cook better when they're nice and moist as opposed to drying out. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it'll dry out on you if you're not careful. If you leave your strips out too long, it'll dry out on you. I'll try to keep them nice and moist. This is going to make such a beautiful cobbler. I'm excited. Okay, guys, I'm going to pop this in the oven again. Each layer 20 to 25 minutes, maybe 30 if you really want to get it nice and golden brown, and it's going to settle on you, and you're going to have all the sugars from the brown sugar that's all going to caramelize and come together. So it's going to really be a hearty dessert. So I'm going to pop this in the oven, and then we'll be back in a few minutes once this is done, and I'm going to show you the final step. Guys, we are about done with this, so I'm going to show you the end product, and this is what it should look like when it's done. It's nice and golden brown. You got a nice thick consistency. Again, the cornstarch, nice thick consistency. And then as it starts to cool, because it's still really hot, after it starts to cool, it's going to settle. The juices and the crust are going to come together and going to make almost like a pie consistency, but a little wetter, a little juicier, more like a cobbler. So what I'm going to do for the final step is I'm going to take some of the leftover juice, sauce, whatever you want to call it, from the mixture that we made, and we're going to pour it over the top. And again, this is all going to settle. We're not going to eat this until like the next day. So you want to make this in advance. But tomorrow, all of the crust and the juices will come together and make a beautiful cobbler. It'll be good, it'll be sweet, it'll be hearty. I like using that word hearty, because I think it makes food just sounds so much better when it's nice and hearty. Okay, this is got a little bit of green for my strawberries. This is what this is looking like. And so by tomorrow, like I say, it's going to be all saturated, and it's going to pull all the juices into the crust. The crust is going to be nice, moist, and it's all going to be part of a really nice cobbler. So again, I thank you guys for this opportunity to show you guys some of my recipes, some of the things that I'm being creative with. And again, we want you guys to like, subscribe, and like. Again, thank you. Going to be shooting at you some more with some different recipes. We're going to do some cheesecakes. We're going to do some peach cobblers, and we're going to do some stuffed tilapia. So we're going to come at you with some really different recipes and some new things. Maybe some things you've seen, maybe some things you haven't. So talk to you soon. Thanks again. Bye.